Robyn are two fun friends diving deep into conversations where nothing is taboo. They believe in eating dessert before dinner and wearing the bikini. They're allergic to labels, authority, and cheap shoes. Currently, they're launching themselves through life being the good time, bold enough to take risks and inquisitively asking, what's next? They hail from New Hampshire, but they could be anywhere dressed in cute clothes. If they had to share a tombstone, it would read, "Curiosity killed these cats." Your hosts, Lisa and Robyn on the mic.
Welcome to Lisa and Robyn on the mic. You are listening on WSMN, 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live, Facebook, YouTube, and you can listen now. We're up live on Spotify after the shows. Welcome to a snowy Thursday edition of Lisa and Robyn on the mic. We are doused in Christmas lights.
If George sees us, he's going to be like, turn it off, it's a fire hazard.
Well, listen, Bob will definitely say that.
I'm smelling for burnt leather.
Just keep it
burnt
off
hair.
So I thought the lights would be funny because lights get me in the spirit, and all of my lights at my house on my Christmas trees are dead.
All of them?
The blue tree was good.
Boy.
The
hallway tree
was good, but I have so many white lights that I just made up for the fact that a lot of them were dead. But the lights, the colored lights, red, blue, green, that go on the tree in the family room, 9 out of 10 sets were dead. So they were a certain shape and size and color, and now they don't make that anymore. Oh. So now they have all the LED technology, and they have purple in their color
I like
scheme.
the purple.
I do like the purple, but it doesn't go with... So now you have to buy all new light set, and we can't get twinkling lights. So I'm like, nothing makes me agitated like Christmas lights,
yes,
as well as make me happy as Christmas lights.
Yes.
So we're sort of the TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra dress.
Yes.
There's a woman with a lighted dress in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and we kind of...
I need a lighted dress.
I said to John, I was like,
it
I really
a
want
hot.
that dress. He's like, I know you really want that dress. That dress is beautiful. And I'm like,
Yes.
she's all lit up in the dress.
Yes. I need
We
that
can make
dress.
that happen.
I need that dress.
How was everyone's Thanksgiving?
I like the one in Hunger Games, too, and then they design it when she does her walkout for the chariot, and it lights up on fire at the bottom of it.
Oh, that's right.
I need that.
That would be a fantastic outfit.
So you can wear the TSO one. I'll wear that one.
I kind of like that you're catching on fire, though.
Yes.
And not catching
you could do
on
one
fire at the same time.
Yes. I could do one in red, and we could do one in purple.
Yeah.
Or orange. Not really big orange.
I was going to say, it could look a little bit like a pumpkin.
Yeah, that's true.
Might be too plump. I might be too plump for
A jack-o'-lantern on fire. I feel this warm behind my back.
I know, the lights are very warm.
So it does make you
festive.
get into the holiday season. I was just actually counting. We have 11 trees.
In your house?
We have 4 on the front porch. But then I've got 2 tiny ones on the steps going down to the great worm. And then we've got that monstrosity of a beast in the living room. Then we've got 2 in the dining room, 2 in the kitchen, 1 in the TV room. Now I forgot how many that was.
That's crazy. So I thought people think I'm out of my mind with my 3 trees.
Well, some of these are little, like the 4
Yes.
feet tree, but I love walking through the house at night.
Yes.
And I love coming home and putting on the candle, and it just smells Christmassy. And
I do. And I think it's because it's the darkest time of year. You know, yesterday was dark at 4:36 because I was roller skating in the dark yesterday in the neighborhood. But all the lights on the exterior of the houses were on, so it didn't feel as dark as it could have felt. But I thought, let me get off the street before I get run over. And
everybody coming home from work, like,
and I come home and I put on the lights, and it feels festive instead of dark and awful. Like you could almost look forward to the lack of light so that you could put your lights on.
It's warm and cozy.
Yes.
When do you take your tree down? Are you like the day after Christmas?
If it was up to my spouse, we would take it down the day after Christmas, but I like to get at least through Boxing Day. And there are some years where it comes off in stages.
What day is Boxing Day?
I think it's January 6th or 8th. I have to check my calendar.
Why did you pick Boxing Day? Do you celebrate that?
No, but it still seemed like a Christmas activity that I had justification to keep my trees up. in an argument with a logical person who only goes off of reason and no feelings in his arguments. I'm like, well, this is a logical reason.
Right.
It's Boxing Day in Canada. And he's like,
Right.
what? And I'm like, I know, but the trees are up then as well.
March 14th, it's like a holiday in Africa, so leave it up in there.
The first year we bought our house, we bought a house in February, so we missed Christmas. Well, we just missed Christmas. So when we put a tree up, I left the tree up. We had white lights, and then I put hearts on it, and then I put shamrocks on it. And then I'm like, I'm going to put Easter eggs on it. And my spouse is like, take that down.
Yes.
People come over our house, they're going to think we're lunatics,
We
And
had
I don't
ours up
care.
till April one year.
Yeah, I don't care. But
I had the decorations off of it, but the lights were on, and it was just, it's kind of like, do I really want to do that today? No.
right.
And we had little kids, and they loved it, and it's like, it was our first 12-foot tree, and it was artificial, but it was awesome.
yeah.
And ours, I like to at least make it through New Year's for the big tree.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones I'll probably take down in like February, somewhere
Yeah, because
January, February. It
when
just
they're
depends on.
smaller, they're not screaming, it's still Christmas.
No, and see, I've got it. I cheat. I just pick them up, take them downstairs, and put a bag over top of them, so I don't have to undecorate them
Yes.
or anything. I don't have to take the lights off or anything.
So that makes putting up the trees significantly easier because it's stringing the lights. And we have trees that don't have lights on them because the lights always break. So then you have to throw away a tree.
Well, I mean, we've got the one that we have in the dining room was the one that we had in our old house. It was like 8 feet. 7.5 feet, and it comes when the lights are wired into the pole, and so we've had that for probably 6 or 7 years now. We've got one row that's out,
That's amazing.
and so I'm like, I'm sold on that.
Yeah.
I'm sold on having to string them. This was an ordeal. Getting the big tree, I think it's probably about 16 feet. That was my guess, but it came wrapped. So we had this great idea that we're going to put the lights on outside at the top of the tree because you almost have to get scaffolding to put the lights on at the top. So we're
there's
like,
not a ladder big enough that you bring in the house that
Yes.
you can top
so my
it to.
daughter and I are wrapping it, and he's always on the last rung on the tall ladder. And I'm like, please don't do that. So we decided to wrap it, but it's all still closed up. Somewhat, it hasn't settled or anything. So we're wrapping them. She's on one side, I'm on the other, and we're just passing it back and forth, and we're trying to weave it in. Well, when we finally get it in, so we did probably about 7 feet down, and he's like, I think I can take it from here. So we bring it in, we set it up, and as it's settling, the lights on the top are so tight. It's just all darkness. The whole bottom's all lit up, and it's like, oh, he's like, I got to get that ladder, don't I? I'm like, yeah, I think so.
We can't look at that for the rest of the season.
Pulling them out a little bit. It's still a little bit. There's one little dark spot, and I'm like, no, I'm not getting the ladder back out, bringing it upstairs and putting it all in. I'm like, nah, it's just going to be good. It's going to be
good enough.
It's like a real tree. It's not even, there's a couple of gaps here and there, and it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why I don't do a real tree because I want my tree up for 2 months. So you can't do that with a real tree. Plus, I used to have cats that would attack the tree. They would
Yes.
they would climb up because they would want to be inside the tree. Like, oh, this belongs outside.
Yes.
Smells like outside. I'm going to be in it and climb it. And my cat Angel used to always knock it over.
Yeah, the first year we've had cats and had a real tree. They're in it, but now they like to just sleep under it.
Yes.
And they'll go up and sniff the branches, and like when you're pouring water in it, they've got to have their nose right in it.
Yeah.
But they have a routine so they're really quiet in the morning until they hear Daddy.
Yeah.
And Milo runs to meet him in the kitchen, and you can just hear this baby cry
Mm-hmm.
just over and over and over again. And he follows him. And then Stella, you can hear her thumping down the steps, and she's still
She's the chunky one.
She's still sleepy-eyed, like, what the hell's going on, man? We going out? We doing this? What's going on? So I did video it this morning. She's sniffing the bush, and she won't come off the step because the step is clear, and Milo puts his paw in it, and he's like, what the
when
heck?
cats first inside cats see snow for the first time.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, so I've got him, just tiptoeing kind of, oh, am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? He gets over to the hot tub, and there's a little lip where the base of it is.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to walk across that without getting his feet in. And then all of a sudden he takes off like a,
Mm-hmm. bat out of hell.
Yeah.
We can say all those words. Those
Across
words are
the
okay.
yard. And I'm like, now I'm chasing him. Now so I let him go for a little bit. And then I was like, I can find you by your footprints. He runs.
Did you see animal footprints too?
No.
Through your yard?
It was still early. So I don't, and it's kind of quiet. So we don't, I mean, it's fenced in too. So we don't really, it's only the bunny.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is what
You
we
have
would
a fence.
see.
I forget that. I had all deer prints and stuff in my driveway.
Yeah. So he had a fun morning this morning with the snow.
Yeah. So what else do you do to get yourself in the Christmas spirit?
Bake cookies.
Yes.
We bake cookies and we do gingerbreads. So, even though my kids are now in their 20s,
Everyone likes sugar.
it's leveled up. So our gingerbread cookie thing, like I think last year Logan and Chris built additions. Somebody I think Logan did a garage, His house is not going to be complete without at least a 3-car garage.
Right.
But
All my toys.
so we do that, and we decorate sugar cookies, and it's fun, watching them over the years, and even their friends will come over and they'll decorate, and, Tuette and Jonah's friends are like, I'm not decorating cookies. The next thing you know, they're the last ones at the table still decorating.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it funny how there's so much resistance to start, but once you're in it,
Yes.
it turns into something else.
Yes.
And I think that's pretty much true about anything, the resistance to start.
Yes.
But once you do it, it's same
Yes.
thing, everything from working out to starting to cook for yourself. There's hardly anything that I didn't want to do, but once I started doing, I
Yes.
couldn't make myself do it. Like I'd give up in the middle.
Yes.
It's hardly anything.
Sometimes, I love to work outside. That would be my preferred place if I were going to go work out, like physically using my body somewhere instead of having to sit in the basement and do my weights and things like that. But I've got a routine. I've set the space up. The cats like to be down there and monitoring me, how many reps I'm
counting.
doing.
Yeah, you got to do more of those.
If I don't do too many squats, Milo will go in between my legs. But there's been a few times I'm like, oh, I hate this. I don't want to do it. And then I just walk back upstairs and I'm like, no, it's that getting started. And then I'm like, no, okay, put some music on and force yourself. And then, everybody has your little hacks. Mm-hmm. Do you play Christmas music a lot?
I do, but I don't before Thanksgiving. And I haven't, putting up the trees, I didn't. I put more like bass thumping, move your body kind of dancing things, but I will get like a week or two before Christmas, I will do the Christmas music. And some of my favorite Christmas music, one of the favorite songs is Come All You Faithful.
Yes.
And you never really hear that too much, especially if you're playing the radio.
Yeah.
Christmas songs. I used to have CDs, but now I don't even know if we have a CD player anymore. in the
I
house.
think you can play them off the Xbox, but don't quote me on that. I don't know.
have an Xbox, but I can play them in my car. I can play my CDs still because my truck is a 2012. We still have. I don't have Bluetooth that works in there, but I have a CD player that works in there.
I don't think I have a CD player in my car. Never even thought about it.
Yeah. The new ones don't come with it. Why would you? You have Spotify, and Pandora, and all those good things. So, so I do like Christmas music, but I have several Christmas CDs, plus I have the Trans-Siberian Orchestra 3-packs, 3 years of their CDs.
Oh, wow.
So that's good because it's a different sound. It's more of a metal-y sound versus just it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Christmas is not complete without a little bit of Brenda Lee rocking around the Christmas tree.
Yes. So there's a song that is making fun of. All right, you start talking. I'm going to try to find the song.
One of my favorite Christmas music
it's a joke
is
song.
Holy Night and What Child Is This?
Mm-hmm.
Carol of the Bells. Those are my favorite. But we don't really start Christmas music until the day we do the tree.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So we go to Noel's farm. I think it's in Litchfield. We kind of liked the idea of cut your own tree. It's such a great little spot. You can go and cut your tree. They do wagon rides. They have wreaths and wraps, and they have hot chocolate. I think they had Willie Jules barbecue there. I think hot chocolate. They have little goats, and like they had a little baby llama.
I love goats
and stuff
and
like that. So it's a place that you can go, and it's just not like, go on the side of the road in a parking lot and there's a bunch of trees that somebody cut down and I think big Building 19 does those. Has the the little things, the little pop-up Christmas stuff on the side of the road, where they bring all the frozen trees in and they set it down. Like
yes, almost like
in a parking lot.
Yes, like the Rotary Club does them, where they're doing the trees.
Like I want to support that, but I'm like, I'd rather support a local farm, and I want the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea, since we're all going together. I want it to be some kind of a memory.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's part of the experience
Yes.
of Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you do to help get in the mood?
So I used to do cookies with Jody. We used to go over each other's house and we used to do cookies, and I used to give them away.
Yeah.
So I did buy stuff to give away cookies this year. So I'm going to do that tradition again.
So what kind of cookies are you making?
I will make rugula, which is, they look like crescents and they're filled with like a marmalade and crushed
Yum.
walnuts.
Yum.
I will do sugar cookies. I will do chocolate chip cookies. I will do a white chocolate chip cookie with macadamia nuts. So I will put a couple of cookies, and then thumbprints, which are they almost taste like raw dough. They're so soft.
It's
really
like a
soft.
sugar cookie with a Hershey Kiss in the middle of it.
I do it with raspberry jam. And those are like
Ooh.
Linzer cookies, but they're a
Yes.
harder cookie. This is a very, very soft cookie. It almost tastes like the dough is raw, but it's not raw. It's that soft. It's without eggs.
Is it like a tart? It kind of looks like a tart. What is what you're describing to me is like a little
It looks like a snowball with a red middle.
yum.
And it's fantastic. And those are like crack cocaine. Very little of those make it their way out of the
Oh
house
my
because you're
goodness.
eating them while they're cooling.
Talking about crack cocaine, we had a Christmas party last year, and this girl brought s'mores cups. I've never been a s'mores fan, but you take graham crackers and you crush them up, and then you melt the butter, so you make your crust. You make your cup, so then you use the little mini tin cups, and you push the butter graham cracker crust into those and just form it around. Then you put 2 or 3 little chocolate chips in it. Then I take the big marshmallows and you cut them in half, and you put that on top of those, and then you cook those like literally 5 minutes under the broiler, maybe not even under the broiler. And then you put one of the little tiny Hershey bars on top of it. Oh my God, it is heaven. You can't even, I was like, you can't even think. It changes the butter crust. It changes the graham cracker. It's just a buttery, rich, creamy.
Is it a crunchy? Does it have crunch?
Not really.
Okay.
It's
I don't like cookies that are too hard
kind of chewy.
with a crunch. Okay. I love a chewy cookie.
It's so good.
So I
I'll
don't
have
like
to make
thin and
some.
crisp cookies. You know how they make thin and crisp chocolate chip cookies?
Yes.
I don't like those because those are crunchy hazards to me.
Oh, I love some of them. I do. I like the ones that you get at the bakery. And they come in the little cellophane, and they're stacked like 6 high or something. There's certain ones I like. Hannaford's makes a good one because I like when it's almost, I like the crispness of it, but I love that chocolate when you bite into that little chocolate morsel.
And
Those
it's
are-
almost like a little too done.
That's really the only kind I like for crisp chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah. And see, I don't like the crisp. I like my cookies soft. I also like raw cookie dough.
Oh, I like raw cookie dough too.
And I remember when raw cookie dough came out as an ice cream, and my family had been yelling at me for like 5 years that I was eating raw cookie dough and that I was out of my mind and I was disgusting.
Right.
And I'm like, they made a whole entire product line off of it.
Right.
You people don't even know what you're talking
Right.
about. They now put it
And it's
inside
the flour.
ice
It's the flour, not the eggs, that usually
is.
is the salmonella. Like huge.
cream. Oh, that.
Eating raw dough. It's usually because of the flour and not the eggs.
Really, I think, well, we eat Caesar salad and that has a raw egg in it.
Yes.
So to me, I was like, well, we're making sense or we're not making sense.
Right.
And I'm eating the cookie dough.
Right.
I've never gotten sick off of raw cookie dough, knock on wood.
see cookies for like a sugar.
I've gotten sick off a bad steak at a really expensive steakhouse.
Oh, that's true. Yes. I do remember that. So for like sugar cookies, I like when the inside is a little bit chewy. It almost still feels a little bit raw, but
Do you
I
have a
love.
good sugar cookie recipe? Because I feel like none of my sugar cookie recipes are the right recipe. I try a different one all the time.
Not really. I think the ones that you get, I've had the best success out of the big bag, and it's just the sugar cookie. Because I usually will get those because that's quick and easy to when we're making sugar cookies to decorate. Because you can just add more flour to it to make it a little more dense, and they sit up better. So I'm like, I'm making.
So do you make yours into shapes? Do you break out the cookie
Oh,
cutters?
yes. And we decorate all of them. Yes.
Maybe I'll come over your
The
house. while
boys
you're
have
doing
fun
that.
with those because then they're doing penises and they're doing gingerbreads with their parts hanging out and like all kinds of. I mean, it ends up being on the raunchy side for some of them, but some of them are like.
I feel like little boys are always drawing penises.
Oh yeah, but we have like the white sugar crystals or like the pale blue ones, and we have the little beads on it to go. So we make pretty snowflakes and.
Yeah, you guys are making the pretty stuff. They're making the.
We're yes, trying, but yes,
trying to undo their.
So, but I like when you're doing a homemade cookie, I like the inside soft
Mm-hmm.
and chewy, but I love that little outside, that little crisp on the outside. So when you get a bite of both of those, it's like. As when I was little, I used to always just save all my edges
For the last.
because they're not super hard. They still have a little crunch and that little bit of chewy. Love it.
What else do you do? See, we decorate, we play music, you do Christmas stuff. So one thing that I dislike so much is the shopping for Christmas
Oh, I
presents.
hate shopping.
So I'm the type of person that if I see something, I'm like, oh, they would love this, and I'll get you a present. Whatever time of the year that is.
Yes.
But if I have to be forced into buying a gift because of a
Yes.
specific time, it's like my mind goes blank to such a level.
Yes.
It's almost like when the TV is just like, "Ee." That's what my mind is doing.
Yes, I used to say to Chris, I hate Christmas. I hate. That's the one thing I hate about Christmas.
Well, coming up with the gift ideas and then going to shop when everyone else is shopping.
And
I
then
don't like
standing in line.
lines. I don't like lines. I don't like that crowded, and I don't like, it doesn't infuse me with Christmas spirit. It actually makes me very angry. And so I've always, hey, let's do experiences, not presents. Please. Can
Yes.
we please go skiing afterwards or go snowmobiling afterwards or do something in
Yes.
January when there's nothing going on, trying to fit everything in between Thanksgiving and New Year's. To me, it's like one long continuous party.
Yes.
Where we're exhausted and we're getting sick because we've been partying. It's Tuesday. My sister-in-law invited me to her work party. And then she's like, we'll do something fun afterwards. And it's like, John's like, on a Tuesday, we're going to be so tired. I'm like, we'll be fine. He's already like anticipating being tired on a Tuesday.
Yes.
She's like, no, it's going to be fine. It's going to be great.
Wait,
We're gonna.
I'm off schedule.
And he's like, something. And I
Can't
said,
be on after
you
8 on
you know
Tuesday?
that Val and I were born to party. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. We were just born to party. Tuesday,
It's going to be
the
a fantastic
17th,
memory.
totally party.
I
There'll
know.
be a Santa Claus
So
there.
Logan came in last night and he said, we're standing in the kitchen and we're making dinner and Logan comes in. He's like, hey, do you guys want to go to Bob Marley tonight in Milford? And I'm like, Chris is like, what? Who's Bob Marley? And I'm like, he's a comedian. We were just talking about him. And he's like, on a Thursday? And he's like, what time is it?
How old are
Are you
you?
going to be out past your bedtime? And so I just look at Logan. I'm like, absolutely, we'll go.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Let's go. And he looks at me and he's like, okay, yeah, let's be fine.
Yeah. Well, he's
gotta get out of
getting
your
better.
norm.
Chris is getting better.
Yes.
But he's like, I have a routine. I come home, I
Yes.
sit down, and I chill after working
Yes,
all
don't
day.
mess with my routine.
Don't rest. Yeah. He's a.
He's, the eyebrow goes up and it's like nose flare. And he's like, what? You
On
gonna
a
mess with my
Thursday?
routine?
On a Thursday? What's happening? You could always invite me out on Thursday.
Yes. And if talking to him in a normal conversation, he'd be like, yeah, I don't do that. I don't settle into a routine. Oh, he's like a cat.
Yes.
When he gets home, he's like making his biscuits. He's like,
Getting himself all comfy.
comfy, calm.
And I do get that in the winter, you do want to be in the house more. It's like the weather's not great, and for the last however many years, we would plow in the winter, so we couldn't make any plans officially in the winter.
Yeah.
Because if it's plowing, we're going out. But this year, we're both not plowing. So this morning, I've never been happier
I was
for
going to
snow.
say, did you guys wake up feeling like freedom?
Yeah, I woke up like we would have been out. I would have been already up for 24 hours before I even came to the show because it started snowing overnight. It always seems to be snowing overnight because I would have had to go out. I would have got called out at 11. Everyone at the Merrimack shed, Trev, Mike, Dave, Bob, Keith, everybody at the shed. I know you've been up for 24 hours, hopefully. And then they have to go to work because they have a 7 to 3:30 shift too. So they're up forever. And thank you guys for keeping the roads clean and doing such a great job. But that was me. And so I would dread snow.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, then let's go snowmobiling. It's like, I haven't slept yet.
Yeah.
I haven't slept since Monday. It's Thursday. And
Right.
now it's the weekend, so let's go snowfell. Let's go snowmobiling.
Yeah.
And I would be like, I want a snowmobile in my head, but my body doesn't want a snowmobile.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to having snow this year.
And
that
being
is-
able to play.
and play while it's happening,
Yes.
not work while it's happening, and then try to find
Yes.
room for play.
A little slot where you're not too tired.
Yes.
But
So I'm sure the ski resorts are thrilled that snow is
So
naturally happening.
yes.
And I think everybody loves snow up
Actually,
until
yeah, we
Christmas.
should look at Pat's Peak for tonight. I mean, for this weekend.
I think Sunday it's open.
Because I think they've been churning out some snow as soon as they can.
So someone started following us on Instagram. Oh, the name of the song is Walking Around in Women's Underwear.
I don't know it.
All right. I will play it for you.
Okay.
We will play it.
So
I'll
we'll
see
play
if I can get it on.
All right, so while you're doing that, so we have picked up, actually, my daughter and I just have seemed to have picked up a new tradition, and we didn't realize it. When the kids were little, so talking about Christmas Eve traditions, my parents always got us pajamas for Christmas Eve to open them up, and I passed that tradition along.
So this
is
one
there
doesn't
another?
work into the iPhone.
There should be, what's this one?
Is there two of them? All right. I'll figure them out that's this one with the pointy thing. All right. We'll figure
He's got the wrong one.
Yeah. I might have to ask Lisa and Jim.
So maybe we can play it at the break, or
When we
like
come back from
record it
break.
on.
Yeah.
So we've always done so I've carried that tradition on Christmas Eve jammies, and for a while, like, they pretended like it's going to be a surprise. Now they don't. One of the traditions, and my dad used to read the night before Christmas, and my kids grew up with me reading to them. And sometimes, like on rainy days or snowy days, we'd go to the library and we'd get $20, and my kids would be happy for you to just sit on the couch and read to them all day long.
Mm-hmm.
They're still big readers. So it's funny now, even when they're in their 20s and away from home, they'll come home like, are we going to read? So we've got like 4 books that we read, children's books that we read for Christmas. So we read the Bible story. We read The Night Before Christmas, You're Special. I can't remember the other 2, but they sit beside me. And I'm like, so we do that for tradition. Christmas, we also had the glass pickle. And in the morning, they are hunting for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for the glass pickle. I like just little traditions. So then after...
So we do the Christmas movies. We will watch
Yeah.
Elf. We will watch Bad Santa.
Oh,
Bad Santa is one of my favorite
Yes,
Christmas
I love
movies. You
Bad
know, so we
Santa.
do a couple of Christmas music movies. We play that like in the night. We always decorate our trees to James Bond. We have the James Bond box set. So from the
Oh,
very first
yeah.
one. So that's what we listen while we're putting up all the trees, and because you've seen them a million times, and
Yes.
half of it's just the music, very
Yeah.
James Bond music, you know. And it was funny because we're watching them, and the first 7 or so, they're always smacking women around when they're getting upset. They're always like slapping them across the face. Shut up, rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, oh, this was can't make this today. But 007's always slapping, you know. And there's always Russian spies who are sleeping with him but falling in love with him, you know.
Yes.
Because they just fall in love with James Bond.
That magnetism.
Yeah, but I love that one girl. It wasn't the Golden Gun, it was the other one. She's like, what do you think? I'm going to sleep with you and fall in love? Not going to happen. So he was like, oh, she's a saucy one. He didn't get to slap her. She had a shotgun. So she was the one he didn't get to slap. But it's just so funny how you look back on movies made, you know, in the 60s and 70s, and what a different
Yes.
world.
Yes.
You know, I'm glad we're not slapping women around in movies.
True.
It's so much more preferable. I'm glad
I mean,
we're not
some of them
burning
do
them.
deserve it, but I'm not. But we won't go there.
Well, I think some dudes deserve a slap too.
Oh, a throat punch.
Violence, how to get in the holiday spirit.
A
A little
kick
bit of
to the
violence.
You know,
It's
you
the
just
snow.
kinda,
It's bringing it
you know,
out.
you just kind of like do it that hard. I don't know what we do, like a
Karate
side
chop?
kick. You know, with your foot. You know,
Yeah.
but you just kind of sweep it out of the way. circular motion. Like get out of my way.
That's how I feel. That's the kind of anger that I feel at the mall, at the supermarket during Christmas. Is like there's too many people, grandmas are giving you the finger. It's just not a good time. So one of the things
Blocking traffic.
Yes. So we did agree this year that only presents for little ones, like children. So I will have to do a little bit of shopping, but not very much. I won't have to mentally do the gymnastics to come up with adult gifts. So we're gonna do stuff. We're gonna go snowmobiling. We're gonna go skiing. We're planning some trips and stuff. That's gonna be
I love it. I've been saying
times
for
this year.
years we should do experiences. So we had ideas that we had to come up with.
Yes. How to enjoy Christmas more or the holiday season more.
Yes. Or 10 gifts that you can't get at the mall.
Yes.
So I put dancing classes.
Ooh, very good.
Like I love to dance.
Yes.
And we watch I call it hot salsa. And then I had to look it up and I was like, I know it's not hot salsa. It's Western swing.
I love Western swing.
Chris showed me, he got me lessons last year. And I'm like, that would be fun. It's a couples thing. We could make, you go, you have dinner, you do dancing classes, like just something together. So that was my number one. My number two, you could do a hot air balloon date.
Yes, more spring.
Because somebody
in New England.
somebody we knew that just went up in a hot air balloon. They did it for a date. Then they had a picnic.
Oh, that's right. Who was that? And we just saw hot air balloons in Montreal when we went up on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Too. So I've been seeing hot air balloons.
So we were
actually
talking
everywhere.
about that this weekend, and we did that. And also, comedy show, we did for, I can't remember if it was Chris's birthday or something. I did the Candlelight Orchestra right now. And now they have, it's Coldplay and somebody else. I'm trying to think who goes along. Who's a good fit for Coldplay?
I'm not a big Coldplay person. I think I like.
I'm
two
not
of their
either, but I
songs.
like a couple of their.
I think I like 2 or 3 of their songs.
But in the orchestra, it's string quartet by
Yes.
Candlelights, and they do
Yes.
Coldplay. And I'll look it up.
Okay, you look.
All
it
right,
up.
so you give me one off yours.
I was going to say skiing,
Oh,
snowmobiling. The 2 things that require ice skating.
yes, I like ice skating.
I was also saying warm weather, do a weekend in Disney. I had a friend
that's
who, for Christmas, on Christmas Day, they flew. So their kids got up. They were in their pajamas, and they're like, aren't we going down to the tree? And they're like, get in the car. You have to get in the car. And they literally took them on a plane in their pajamas and took them to Disney for a week from between Christmas and New Year's. I thought that was like fantastic parent moment. But again, that's a very pricey thing. But what I was thinking is, what if we gave everyone our undivided attention for a week or 2? Do you remember before we all had a computer at our fingertips?
Yeah.
When we used to just hang out and talk and be together in a fully present way?
Yes. I remember growing up, and like some of my best memories are, it would happen every time that we go over to my grandparents' house because my cousins and my aunts and uncles all lived close by, and it's kind of the thing that you did on Saturday or Sunday. And they all, I grew up in the South, so my grandmother would cut cantaloupe, and she'd cut watermelon up, and she'd serve it out and she'd always have like cheese and crackers and all kinds of things, like just always out. But the adults spent the day talking, and the kids were running around playing, and I just remember growing up with memories like that. That's all you had was conversation.
So when we went to my maternal grandmother's family for Christmas Eve, I remember the year they got the Truly Tasteless joke books for one of the other family members. And we were the kids, so we were out of the room, but they all sat around a dining room, and each one of them would pass around the book, and one of them would tell their joke. And I used to love, because now they're laughing, hysterically laughing.
Yeah.
Like tears, cackling laughter from the other room. So then we start trying to eavesdrop from one of
what's going on in there?
Why are they having so much fun? We're not having this much fun out here. And then we're hearing them laughing, trying to get the joke out. But now everybody is laughing because they're laughing, but not necessarily because they've heard the joke.
It's the energy.
Yeah, and it's just I guess she's a cousin, but so she used to laugh so much that we would laugh. We wouldn't even know what the joke was yet. we would be in that kind of
Yes.
hysterical laughter because her laugh, she had a good laugh. She had a funny laugh. But I just remember, again, not on any phone. I guess you could do the same thing with a phone. But it seems like because the book was a stationary object with only so many things on a page. It wasn't this endless,
Right.
unlimited amount of information to scroll quick past so you could get to the next thing.
Yes.
That
yes.
fear of missing out the next thing. It was just this one thing. And I can still hear the laughter, 40
Yeah.
years later.
Well, I
of
think
that.
the art of conversation has been lost.
Yes.
I
I thought Drew actually was the comedian, Drew Dunn, that was on Friday. He was a very fun conversation because he played in the way of volleying back.
yes.
And
yes.
he was very present.
Yeah, and I think it's
a great
rare nowadays. And I
yeah.
actually, and Juan was that way too.
Juan was very
and I
much
think
that
that
way.
too, when you are, and not to say that not all all
Yeah.
comedians are, funny, and some people.
And that all people, if you're in the present moment of the conversation, you never really quite know where it's going to lead
Yes.
anyways. That's why I like...
But you can still use your humor and your comedy in it. So it's just like that's who you are.
Mm.
That's
And I think that when you're in the moment of it, I don't like when... The reason why I always tell our guests we're not scripted is if we're going down a good chain, I don't want to now have this non sequitur of... What's the
Right.
favorite whatever
Right.
you like I like there to be a pause and then okay we'll come up with a question, but I like just the natural flow of
a conversation.
wherever this will go.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes we have, started a topic and say this is what we're going to stay on, and we never hit it. So love us or hate us, it's how it is.
Yeah. We're weavers.
But I like it, and I like that, Drew can, he sprinkles in his comedy, and that's just part of who you are. Like I love witty. I love witty. I love sarcasm. Being able to weave it into the conversation, and I think that's part of being present.
And I think if we could give the
Engaged.
gift of presence to everybody, our children, our families,
Yeah.
our friends, like when you're there, just to try to be really there with them in the moment and not half somewhere else.
Right.
Because I think that's what one of the complaints about, having email on your phone or your text message for business is there's never a moment where I can just be off
Yes.
for a moment. And I know that, my spouse has said they've had you all day. Isn't this my time now? It's 8:30.
Yeah.
Why are you still conversing about this? Like,
Yeah.
Isn't this my time?
Yeah.
And you feel bad because it's like, it's sort of wormed its way in.
Yeah.
And it's an expectation. But if we were to put our phones down, pay attention to each other, and just be in the moment, I think
Yes.
that would be a huge gift. And it's free.
Yes. I think that's a great gift.
Yeah.
And a spa is a great gift too.
A spa is a great
spa
gift.
day.
Yes.
I was just thinking, so we did a whole bunch of lists. I put ski weekend, romantic getaway, or do like a food and a cooking class. Like
Ooh,
if you
that would be
both do a couple's cooking class, and then you get to enjoy your meal together.
And you can do that with your friends. Like a Saturday night, we're going to make something that you need a couple of people and it takes a long time, like raviolis.
Yeah.
Or pierogi, or something that it takes a little bit to do it.
Yeah.
And cookies.
Yeah.
Making cookies for the cookie swap or something.
But
And
see,
maybe we could do cookie swap instead of, where everyone has to bring a gift for $10.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
you're
that's-
all
yeah.
trading it.
yeah,
Maybe we just do a cookie swap
like a
instead.
Yankee swap thing.
Yes. I was never a Yankee swap person.
Yeah.
Because we always had them at corporate America. We always had Yankee swaps. And I know people are out there like hissing at the radio because I know how much they love. I know how people love a Yankee swap.
Well, Yankee
'Cause
swaps
but I
could be
think
really
they're good
cool.
at them. I think I'm terrible at a Yankee swap. I buy alcohol for whatever the dollar amount is. Like if it's a $15, I buy a $14.99 bottle of wine. Or like if it's a $20 thing, I
Right.
try to get tequila or something. And then everybody's, trying to lobby around with the alcohol. But that doesn't necessarily make me a good Yankee swap person.
So, yeah, I always try to get something that I would buy something that I would want, because hey, if it comes down and everybody else has got crappy gifts, then I might be able to get mine back. So I always think about it in those terms. But Logan, They do. It's actually this weekend too. They're doing they do a Yankee swap with their dirt bike riding group.
Mm-hmm. And they're all giving each other cases of oil, like oil.
Well, so when he said, a lot of times it's just, they come up with, gag gifts and things like this. But so he is so talented. He made clocks out of dirt bike parts. And then he ordered it and it was flat. And so he got he got the clock, the mechanisms for it, put it all together. He built my son a lamp out of car parts. It's like I would butcher it. But it looks like a fan or something. So you actually can see the fan carburetor. I don't know what it was, but it's cool. It's heavy. But so he's made a couple of gifts like that. And then he also has a 3D printer. So he took pictures. Like he made us a picture out of the 3D printing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He took one of our pictures and made a nightlight out of it. He did that for his grandparents. But so when he goes to the Yankee swap, everybody wants Logan's gift.
Yes.
So he took that and he put it in a pizza box. He put the clock and they wrapped it up because he's under the radar, sneaky, like just cool.
Yeah.
Like, so everybody's like, they picked that and they picked that. And when they finally get it, everybody's fighting over it. And I think he got like 20 or 30 orders for people they wanted it. It was so cool. So like, blowing somebody out of the water that way, like that's the way I would want to do a Yankee swap.
And that's the kind of person I want to be with presents, but I'm not.
Yeah, me too.
So that's why I'm like, I'm not that good
Dude,
at this.
if my funds were unlimited, everybody would be getting like Versace or Louis Vuitton or I don't know, something like that they would like, or just something that they wouldn't buy themselves.
I would still pick a trip. I'd be like, bring your passport. Bring your passport on this day.
Yes. Yes.
I would still do something, but then we would do stuff there.
Yes.
Like when we went to Florida, the stuff that we did, like the Chihuly Museum.
Well, I was just thinking, so I also had helicopter ride on there too. And like, because I was looking through and I'm like, you could do that and it's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
You could go, you can still have lunch, or even if you're trying to buy for your spouse or your partner, or I was thinking even buying for your children that are married and have, kids or something, you could do
Museum of Science tickets or Museum of Fine Arts tickets.
Or you could do them date night. You would offer to babysit the kids, and then you would get them a ticket to a restaurant or a show in Boston or something that they wouldn't do for themselves, but they would enjoy.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be anything on our list, but like I love dancing and watch that, and I'm like, what a great way to spend time together.
And as an adult of a certain age, which we are, it's not like we club anymore.
Right.
But when we were young, we clubbed.
Yes.
Like, what did you do every Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday? You clubbed. You went to a club and you stood around and you danced.
Yes. Yes.
Right? That was your activity for a decade of your life. And then you're supposed to just not do it anymore.
Well, the guys are like, well, I didn't go to dance.
Well,
anyway, you could still be on the scene. But doing something
they
like
went to clubs because girls were at clubs. Don't tell me that they didn't go to dance clubs.
So I actually thought it was
believe it.
one of the most thoughtful gifts of getting the dance lessons, because I'm always talking about it. I never asked for it. But it's like when I saw it, when he gave it to me, I was like, he saw me.
Yeah.
He's like, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't have to be anything off of our list. Think about what your partner, what your spouse would want, and what would they enjoy, or what do they not treat themselves with, and then do that.
Yeah.
An experience, because it lasts way longer. Like, we're living in an age we don't really need anything. I mean,
right. I think a lot of people want the act of unwrapping.
Yeah.
I get that. So I think of, like, if you're going to take someone skiing, buy a pair of gloves or some small thing that you can put in a box, and then have the ski tickets in there, or the date that you're going in there. Because we used to do a friends thing where we used to meet afterwards and like, don't buy me any gifts. I'm not going to buy you any gifts. Don't buy me gifts. And we'll go meet and do X.
Right.
I definitely, like, everyone go get their own ticket to X because we're all going.
Yes. I love that. The year that we got the kids back into skiing, so they grew up skiing, and then they're like growing so fast you can't keep up with the ski boots and the skis. And so there was a period of time that we didn't ski. So it was just simple enough. We had a little Christmas tree downstairs. So Chris and I set it up downstairs in the garage, and we got their helmets. We got new skis, we got new boots. We did everything under all the ski stuff, the goggles that were hanging off of the tree. So what we did was we did clues. And you couldn't quite. So the last clue was to lead you downstairs to open it, but there was
That's a great idea. Instead of buying the mittens or something, putting clues inside.
Well, you did one ski glove. We did one ski glove, and you wrapped it up like where is my other half? Like some little rhyme, like where's my other half?
So it's almost like a treasure hunt.
Yes. Oh my God.
Christmas treasure hunt.
My kids loved treasure hunts.
Christmas Easter egg treasure hunt.
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic.
Well, when they were little, I used to do treasure hunts especially in the winter. I would do these little cards, and I actually had these index cards laminated. It was like a little map of the house, and there would be an X on it. And so you could wipe it off. Like if I laminated it, you can just use the Sharpie, like the little wipeable marker, and you'd put the X on it, and then they would have to go to that spot. Then they'd have to read a clue to lead them to the next spot.
This is like the Amazing Race
to get their snack. But look, it takes up an hour for them to get their snack in the afternoon.
That is actually fantastic.
And they're running around, they're engaged, they're excited, they're looking,
and there's a present at the end.
And they're using their brain.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was like, my kids have loved treasure hunts. So when we put it all downstairs and I recorded it, and they're like, oh, no, they're grumbling, I don't know what this is. And they still hadn't, so I did a scarf, and I was like, something I go together with a hat, or anyway. So you could just do lots of different things like that. You could just do, then we did have tickets to go to a chemo. And that was, I didn't get the hotel was, Queechy. We stayed in Queechy. Queechy.
This is the name of a hotel, or
no, it's
town?
The name of a town.
Okay.
Queechy. Gotta look it up.
Okay.
The middle of
Does
nowhere.
it begin with Q? Does it begin with C?
And
Does it begin with a K?
There is not really many restaurants, so we found a pizza place. And I was like, well, I got the ski trip. I just didn't get the lodging.
Right. But that's part of the story. What I think we need to get back to is the terrible part is the story.
Yeah.
That's the story you tell later. You tell the skiing story where it rained on you. You don't tell how was skiing? It was fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Yes. That's a one-word story.
Okay.
It's when you went into the hotel room and the bathroom was in the middle with a round or a heart-shaped tub, and you were like, you're gonna have to go downstairs while I go to the bathroom because there's no door on the bathroom. Like, that's the story to me.
Yes.
To me.
Okay. So I'm trying to think, what's the ski mountain that's up near Canada?
Killington?
No, it's not.
I don't even know where Killington is.
It's not Sunday River. It's wait, I want to say it starts with a J. Anyway, we are in the middle. So we decided, we did a ski trip for New Year's. So the kids got it on Christmas. And, it's only a couple of days, but it still kind of extends that whole thing out. They had wanted to go. They had been up there to the ski mountain before. So we're packing. We're getting out. I think it's like the day before New Year's Eve. We're on the road. We get on the road. It's kind of a hubbub. We're trying to get everything in the car. Chris is like, I'm going to pack the car. So we get up there, and it's late at night. It's like 8:30, but we've been driving. Everybody's tired. Everybody's hungry. And Chris is like, let's just check in. I packed breakfast stuff. I packed most of our groceries for us. I already cooked dinner. I think I was making lasagna, so we just had to pull it out, heat it up. So everybody's hungry. Like, I just need to get to the food. He goes to check in, and our room's not ready. And there is like 20 people standing in the lobby. And we're sitting there, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. And they're short-staffed. They're still cleaning at 9 o'clock at night. They're not letting anybody in their rooms. So I'm in my underlayers of my ski stuff.
Your underwear.
Yes, because I thought, well, we were going to go skiing and stuff. And so I'm in my leggings, like I'm in my long johns. Yes. So I'm like, all right, I just really want to get out of these clothes. I'm cold. I'm cold. I'm ready to go. So I'm like, I'm going to go out to the truck, and I'm going to get my clothes, and I'm going to go in the bathroom in the lobby and change. So I go out to the truck. I'm digging around. My luggage is not there. I'm like, are you kidding me? The only clothes I have
Are these under
are the clothes on my body.
are the long johns I have?
Yeah. And my ski clothes, and my ski pants, and my ski jacket. And I'm like, well, this is not going to work out. And I'm like, are you I'm trying not to freak out. So
getting clothes. I'm sure there was no ski shop so you can buy little outfits. No, in Queechee.
no, this is actually this was at the ski lodge. We actually had rented a condo. So we have a whole house, 3 bedrooms. We have the kitchen, everything. We're up there.
No clothes.
No. So now I am borrowing clothes from Chris, and we finally get in there at like 11 o'clock at night, and we're starving. So we had stopped. I think we went to go get pizza because the mountain they were shutting down. I think the kitchen closed at like 9 or 9:30 or something. So we're driving around in the middle of nowhere trying to finally end up on pizza. I'm piecing together outfits the whole weekend. So New Year's Day. So we got the next morning, we ski, we have a great time. We eat the food that I made, had a great time. We're settling in for games. Wake up the next morning thinking we're going to have a great New Year's. It was New Year's Eve. We had a great New Year's Eve. Get up the next morning, think we're going to ski. It is pouring down rain. It is puddling rain. And we're like, what a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
What a disaster. But looking back now, like we have such great memories of it. Like the kids were digging through while they were waiting. They went up and swimming in the pool.
Yeah.
They have the indoor pool. So we're swimming and I'm like, all right, I'll hang out with you. And like, I'm going to go get changed. Yeah.
You're not going to get changed.
I don't have a bathing suit. He's like, well, I don't mind if you don't need a bathing suit.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone else says I need
it's
a
indoor
bathing
water
suit.
park. I am not going down that slide naked.
In front of the children. In front of the children.
I am not floating down that lazy river in the buff. Ain't gonna happen. Now, if you wanted to book this private.
What's the name? This isn't Sandals.
No, I'm going to look it up.
Is that Sandals or Couples or whatever the name of those adults only?
Oh, well, that's
places.
Hedonism.
Oh, Hedonism. Okay, yeah.
I don't think you ever want to go to Hedonism, though, because there's all the people that you don't want to see naked.
No, we went to a nude beach, not because we were being nude, because we were passing through it to go snorkeling. And I was like, these are people who should not be naked. And they're rubbing suntan lotion on themselves for a long time. It's not appropriate. Why is it that most people, when you go to those places, are like nude resorts? Why? And they're playing activities. They're like, they were playing this thing that I was like, why is everything bouncing around? Just stop it. Stop it. There's good naked from Seinfeld. There's good naked and bad naked. This is bad naked.
You do naked
Jumping.
dodgeball.
Oh my God, it was atrocious. And then you look like the weird one in your bathing suit because like you're inappropriate because everyone here is doing one thing, and so you're like trying to sneak along by the rocks to like not show that you're not naked, and you're like trying to wander off.
See, topless is different than naked. I just don't know.
I still don't think you should be bouncing all around.
That's
not
true.
Everybody.
Not playing a game. Yeah. And I certainly don't want to eat a breakfast. I don't want to go down to the common area and like seeing everybody like their cheeks sticking to the, or they get up to go to the buffet for the scrambled eggs and they've got the seat
waffle
print.
Mark.
Yeah, waffle marks on your cellulite.
That happens anyways with the bathing suit and shorts. Stay tuned to Lisa and Robyn on the mic. You're listening on WSMN 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live, Facebook, YouTube. We'll be right back.
WSMN 95.3 FM Nashua. Listen, watch, and stream at WSMN.live.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A month of declining jobless claims has come to a halt. ABC's Jim Ryan says more people were applying for benefits last week.
In all, 224,000 first-time claims for unemployment benefits were filed, an increase of 9,000 from the week before. The 4-week moving average, which gives a clearer sense of the overall trend, was slightly higher in data released by the Labor Department this morning.
An apology from the CEO of McDonald's for the E. coli outbreak that sickened at least 100 people and left one person dead. Joe Erlinger telling ABC News.
We let people down. And so I want to apologize to all of our customers out there who were harmed by this incident.
The outbreak linked to the onions on Quarter Pounders. The search goes on in New York City for the man who murdered United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Investigators narrowing in on the place where they think the gunman stayed in Manhattan before the shooting. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth back on Capitol Hill trying to convince more senators he's up for the job. This is ABC News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down.